Can you believe it? He vanished from TNA 11 years ago, leaving a gaping hole in the hearts of many, and then, like a ghost from the past, he walked back through the curtain at Slammiversary 2025 like he'd never left. AJ Styles, the man who quite literally put the X Division on the map with his gravity-defying acrobatics and relentless innovation, just shocked the entire wrestling world. He didn't just show up, he endorsed the new face of that division, Leon Slater, and then, almost as quickly, slipped away before anyone could even ask the obvious questions. Why now? And, perhaps even more perplexing, how on earth did TNA keep this quiet? Stick around, because the backstage story here? It's even wilder, more intricate, and more surprising than the electrifying moment itself. Let's rewind quickly, shall we? Back to 2014. AJ Styles, then a cornerstone of TNA, the very first TNA X Division champion, a 6-time holder of that title, and a multiple-time world champion, departed the company over contract disputes. It felt like an era was ending. But what a journey he embarked on. He didn't just leave, he blazed an unforgettable trail through New Japan Pro Wrestling, becoming a leader of the Bullet Club and carving out a new international legacy. Then came the unthinkable, his seismic debut in WWE, where he quickly ascended to become the phenomenal headline act. He collected world titles, delivered countless 5-star matches, and basically checked every single box a professional wrestler could ever hope to check, cementing his status as a global superstar. Meanwhile, TNA, the company he helped build, went through its own tumultuous period. It rebranded, stumbled, rebranded again, and quietly, painstakingly, rebuilt itself around a core of hungrier, younger talent, alongside a few seasoned veterans. Fans, the loyal ones who remembered the glory days, always whispered, "Would AJ ever come home?" But the answer, for years, seemed set in stone. He's WWE for life. A lifer. End of story. Slammiversary 2025, in less than 2 minutes, didn't just challenge that narrative. It shredded it, leaving everyone utterly speechless. It was a bridge between the past and present, a moment many thought would never materialize. Picture this, really painted in your mind. Leon Slater, the young, dynamic X Division champion, has just retained his title in an absolute barn-burner of a match. The crowd's on their feet, the arena is awash in streamers, a celebratory chaos. The energy is palpable, almost overwhelming. Then the lights flicker once, twice. A hush falls, a collective intake of breath as if everyone instinctively knows something monumental is about to happen. And then, bam! The opening chords of AJ's iconic old TNA theme hit, and the building just absolutely detonates. It's not just a cheer, it's a roar, a cathartic explosion of 11 years of pent-up hope and disbelief. He strides to the ring, a familiar swagger in his step, a slight smile playing on his lips. He embraces Slater, a genuine, heartfelt hug, then raises the kid's hand high, a symbolic gesture of passing the torch. He cuts a quick, powerful 30-second promo, calling Slater the future and praising the X Division for being in phenomenal hands. Then, almost as quickly as he appeared, he exits. No match, no long, drawn-out speech, just a potent, impactful message that was crystal clear. TNA's originator, its foundational figure, had just blessed its new era. It was pure, unadulterated wrestling magic. This is where the story gets even juicier. Truly remarkable in an age where everything leaks. According to multiple, highly credible sources, AJ's name was never, not once, on the official production sheet. Can you imagine the level of secrecy required? Even most of the crew, the men and women who make these shows happen, genuinely thought the flickering lights were just part of Slater's elaborate post-match celebration. To ensure absolute discretion, security cleared a specific rear hallway, allowing AJ to enter through a non-public door, completely out of sight of prying eyes and phone cameras. Only 4 trusted producers and the broadcast truck director were privy to the exact cue. This wasn't just a surprise, it was a masterclass in operational stealth. The whispers suggest that WWE, surprisingly, granted this incredibly rare one-off appearance. Why? Reportedly, because AJ signed a short extension that, crucially, keeps him off TNA cards for any in-ring competition beyond these promotional appearances until at least Bound for Glory. This highlights the delicate balance and strategic partnership at play. Cameras did film him backstage, capturing candid moments, but the footage rights remain intriguingly murky. Could it be for a future WWE 24 documentary showcasing a legendary career coming full circle? Or perhaps a pivotal segment for an upcoming TNA documentary chronicling its resurgence? Nobody's confirming anything, and that only adds to the mystique. The secrecy was so airtight, so perfectly executed, that half the TNA locker room learned the rumor from Twitter at the exact same moment the fans did. It speaks volumes about the trust and discipline involved. Let's be frank. While TNA had rebranded back to its original name in 2024, emphasizing creative freedom and consistent storytelling, and buzz was steady, it hadn't exactly been spectacular. Ratings had plateaued. They needed something seismic. And boy did they get it. That one surprise AJ Styles pop didn't just create a momentary ripple. It created a tidal wave. The Slammiversary replay numbers spiked a staggering 38% above the prior month's special. Ticket demand for the very next set of TV tapings jumped exponentially within hours, a direct, measurable impact. But beyond the impressive metrics, AJ's endorsement did something even more profound. It instantly legitimizes Leon Slater, the young X-Division champion, and by extension, every single opponent Slater defends against. It's a powerful validation, a stamp of approval from one of the greatest to ever step in a TNA ring. More than that, it ties today's product, TNA's current vision, directly back to the reckless, innovative, and utterly thrilling spirit that made the company so cool and revolutionary in 2003. It reinforces the brand's identity as a place where wrestling excellence and innovation thrive. In short, it's a bridge from the company's storied past to its promising present that no amount of marketing dollars, no fancy ad campaign, could ever buy. Only mystery, perfect timing, and a genuine, organic moment of wrestling history could deliver something so impactful. It was a reminder of TNA's foundational identity. The clock is ticking, and we're all acutely aware of it. His WWE contract reportedly winds toward a 2026 retirement, meaning the window for any significant TNA involvement is incredibly small. So, what can we realistically expect? We'll likely see more backstage segments, perhaps an occasional save, or maybe even an Angle-style authority role, where he lends his gravitas without taking bumps. But full-blown, regularly scheduled matches? Those are, regrettably, unlikely unless WWE and TNA significantly widen their current working agreement, which, given the limited nature of his current appearances, seems a long shot. However, the most talked-about possibility, the one that truly sets the wrestling world abuzz, remains a one-on-one, pass-the-torch bout with Leon Slater at next year's Slammiversary. Imagine the symbolism. Neither side has publicly committed, of course, but whispers from both camps suggest a strong appreciation for the narrative arc. AJ's first TNA match back potentially being his last before retirement against the man he just endorsed. If that, by some miracle, happens, you're not just looking at a potential 5-star showcase. You're looking at a massive streaming bump for TNA's new platform deal and a moment that will be replayed and revered for decades. It would be the ultimate full-circle moment for the Phenomenal One. This wasn't just a feel-good wrestling moment. It was a shrewd business move with tangible benefits for all involved. WWE gets to keep AJ's merchandise machine running hot, leveraging his continued star power while strategically testing the waters for potential cross-promotion. It's a low-risk, high-reward scenario for them. TNA, on the other hand, gains invaluable mainstream eyes and media attention without having to sacrifice its own talent to a bigger, more dominant partner. It's a win-win. Sponsors, always on the lookout for authentic engagement, absolutely love feel-good nostalgia that doesn't feel forced or contrived, and this segment delivered exactly that in spades. It resonated with a genuine emotional connection. Unsurprisingly, stock in both companies' parent groups ticked up the very next trading day. Coincidence? Perhaps. But Wall Street, for all its spreadsheets and algorithms, definitely notices when social media explodes for something wrestling-related that isn't a scandal or a controversy. This was pure, positive momentum. All right, wrestling fanatics, let's hear it. Who do you think AJ should face if he wrestles one last monumental TNA match? Drop your dream bout below in the comments, and while you're typing away, do us a huge favor and hit that subscribe button so you absolutely don't miss the fallout when it inevitably happens. The impact on Leon Slater, the young champion who received this incredible blessing, is profound. Slater recently told a UK podcast that he still hasn't watched the footage back. Why? Because he wants to preserve the raw, visceral memory of the crowd's roar, the feeling of AJ's hand on his, the sheer energy of that moment in real time, untainted by replays. It's a testament to how deeply that moment affected him. He keeps the X Division belt in his living room now, not out of ego, but because every single time he sees it, he pictures AJ handing it to him like a relay baton, a legacy passed on. Mentally, that's incredibly powerful fuel for a 24-year-old champion carrying the weight of a division. Expect his title defenses to get more creative, more risk-heavy, almost as if he's not just defending his own championship, but also AJ's enduring legacy within the X Division. He sees Styles as a mentor figure, and the hope for a future match between them is a driving force. This isn't just a title reign. It's a mission. The ripple effect backstage was just as potent as the roar from the crowd. Talent I spoke with described the moment as unifying, a rare and precious occurrence in a business often riddled with politics and competition. Veterans who had shared the locker room with AJ in his previous TNA run were openly emotional, some even crying tears of joy and nostalgia. Rookies, many of whom grew up idolizing Styles, freaked out with a genuine, childlike excitement. Even the usually stoic production staff were seen hugging, sharing in the collective euphoria. In a company that has, for years, seen constant turnover, rebranding, and uncertainty, everyone finally shared one pure, unadulterated, happy memory. It was a bonding experience. Several wrestlers, their minds racing with possibilities, pitched finishes for potential AJ matches within minutes of the segment ending. Creative, in their wisdom, had to politely ask them to chill out until contracts and logistics could be sorted. That kind of shared energy, that palpable excitement and belief, matters immensely. High morale backstage invariably translates to crisper matches, more innovative ideas, and braver, more compelling storytelling on screen. It invigorates the entire product. If you needed any further proof of the moment's impact, just look at the data. Google Trends showed AJ Styles' TNA return outsearched every other wrestling term that entire weekend, dominating the conversation. Reddit threads multiplied so fast that moderators had to merge them, struggling to keep up with the sheer volume of discussion and speculation. Independent merchandise makers, always quick to capitalize on a hot moment, cranked out phenomenal hands tees and other custom gear in under 24 hours, a testament to the immediate connection fans made with AJ's promo. When fans care that intensely, when they show such immediate, passionate engagement, promoters absolutely must capitalize quickly, or the moment, like a fleeting dream, simply evaporates. TNA seems to get it. They've already shrewdly teased more surprises coming, implying that AJ appearances, even if not in-ring, will be sprinkled through the next set of tapings. This keeps the buzz alive, keeps the fans invested, and ensures that the momentum from Slammiversary isn't just a one-off. While the return was undeniably a triumph, it's crucial to acknowledge the potential pitfalls. Over-reliance on nostalgia is the big one. If AJ shows up only to vanish again without meaningful follow-through, fans, feeling teased or manipulated, could quickly grow resentful. There's a fine line between a strategic surprise and a cheap pop. Another significant risk lies in the intricate world of contract politics. WWE, holding the primary contract, could pull the plug early on these limited appearances if their partnership parameters shift, if a new directive comes down, or if they decide the exposure to TNA is no longer serving their best interests. The delicate nature of the agreement means it's always subject to change. Lastly, injury concerns are a very real, very human factor. AJ still works a bruising, high-impact style, even at 48 years old, and one bad landing, one awkward bump, could unfortunately derail both companies' carefully laid plans. Management has to meticulously weigh these inherent dangers against the enormous, undeniable upside of having the phenomenal one back, even briefly, in a TNA ring. So, what's your take? Does this feel like the start of a beautiful, groundbreaking partnership between wrestling's biggest players, or are you secretly worried that WWE will eventually yank the rug out from under TNA? Tell me your thoughts, your hopes, your fears in the comments below, and please share this video with anyone who popped, screamed, or even shed a tear for that incredible Slammiversary surprise. AJ Styles' comeback at Slammiversary wasn't just a fleeting nostalgia pop. It was a meticulously calculated shockwave that reverberated throughout the wrestling landscape. It re-legitimized TNA's brand, firmly established and elevated Leon Slater as the rightful heir to the X Division throne, and offered WWE a low-risk, high-reward goodwill gesture. The unparalleled secrecy, the powerful endorsement, the impeccable timing, all of it blended into one perfect, unforgettable wrestling moment, the kind we rarely get to witness in our hyper-connected, spoiler-ridden social media age. Whether we ultimately see him wrestle again in TNA, or if he merely stands as the division's guardian angel, AJ proved unequivocally that 11 years, a global takeover, and a phenomenal run in WWE can't erase one's roots. The phenomenal one is home, even if only for a fleeting encore, and the impact of his return will resonate, a powerful echo, every single time that iconic X Division title belt clangs in the center of the ring. It's a testament to legacy, loyalty, and the enduring power of professional wrestling.